Hi! So today I really wanted to talk about car seats with you. So recently we've been looking at getting a new car seat for our son. He's just 15 months old now, and I'm sure, like a lot of other parents, you're just looking on the internet, looking in shops, and it is just so confusing as to what you're going to buy. There's just so much choice out there. And so when I started just looking into it a little bit more, I actually found a really big difference specifically with rearward facing and forward facing car seats. And so I wanted to pass on some of the knowledge that I found, because actually it just blew my mind, in particular in aspects to do with the safety of it. I just was not prepared for the disparity in the ratio of how safe one was opposed to the other. So the first thing to discuss is obviously that children are not small adults, but they actually have obviously still maturing bodies, and so their neck muscles and bones are a lot softer, obviously, than adults are, and that causes a very important point when looking at the rearward facing and forward facing car seats. So babies and young children have a proportionally larger head size to their body ratio than adults do. It's actually 25% of their weight is in their head, as opposed to 6% in adults. If a crash occurs, it's primarily going to affect the neck, head and spine area. This is important to note because when you're rear facing, the amount of pressure that is taken off the head, neck and spine is huge. I don't know if you've seen those videos of the crash test dummies. It's terrifying, and obviously if you have, you can see that the straps and everything hold your body in place but don't hold obviously your head in place. For an adult, that will just jerk you forward. For a child, it can be an extreme load of force on the neck and the back. So the immature neck of a child just isn't strong enough to protect the spinal cord if a crash occurs. So the pressure and weight of the head, combined with the immaturity of the body at the time of impact, if you're in a forward-facing car seat, can move the spine up to 2 inches. And if it reaches just half an inch, that's enough to cause paralysis or death. Terrifying, I know. If they're in a rearward-facing seat, the position of the seat actually takes the impact from a crash, protecting the child. Using rear facing reduces the risk of serious injury or death from 40% down to 8%. That's compared to using a forward facing car seat, and that's huge. Rearward facing seats were actually invented by a Swedish professor in the 1960s, based on astronaut seats, which were more cupped and more supportive. So since 1965, all children in Sweden have been using rearward facing seats up until the age of 4, and this is where a lot of the research for it has come from. In the UK, around 200 children a year are seriously injured in car accidents, and a further 21 die. In comparison, on Swedish roads, deaths and serious injuries to children under 5 have been virtually eliminated, which is fantastic. Current UK law, as it stands at 2020, states that a child should be rearward facing for up to 15 months. So that's the law. They shouldn't be forward facing before 15 months of age. They deem that after that point they will be strong enough to be able to support their head in an accident, and the risk has reduced. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, and as we know, children's cartilages that are holding kind of the neck and everything in place don't actually fuse together and become strong enough to withstand that sort of pressure without extreme damage until up to 6 years old. I know one of the other worries this causes for parents is wondering if their position will affect any other part of their body. So you see that children's legs are obviously up against the back of the seat in rearward facing, and some people worry that that will cause damage. Children are very flexible in that aspect, and they're happy to sort of, sit in different positions with their legs. But more importantly, if there was a serious accident and there was a broken leg, that is a lot easier to mend and deal with than a broken neck. Another milder issue is their visibility and their view out the car. Some parents, think that they'll be bored looking at the back. They can actually see quite a lot back there. They can see out the window that they're next to. They can see out the back window, and if you have one of the mirrors on the back seat, they can actually interact with you as well, and you can see them, very clearly. So there was actually research done back in 2009 that was published in the British Medical Journal, which looked into extensive research of rearward facing v forward facing, and the BMJ and the NHS Knowledge Service both agree that there should be big recommendations for rearward facing car seats for as long as possible with children's at least up to the age of 4, because they found through all this research that actually it lowered the risk of serious injury and death by a huge amount. The numbers that we're looking at is just it's just crazy. But through doing my own research, I haven't found anywhere that UK law is pointed towards that change. I can't seem to see why the UK government aren't speaking more about this and bringing this more to people's attention, because we all want to protect our children and we just need to have those facts to hand. So I really hope that they bring it into the public eye and share this information, and please, you do as well. Talk to your parent friends, to your families, and share this out. And please, I would recommend getting a rearward facing seat and protecting our children for as long as we can in the car. I hope this video has been informative. I hope that I've passed on a little bit of knowledge of what I found. I hope it helps some of you when you're looking for your car seats, and share it out. Let's protect our kids.